Howdy, folks.
Hey guys, it's Jen here with the Big Tex team, and you know what Wednesday is? It's Wine Wednesday, and I guess the bottles in front of us probably gave us away. It's spitting outside just a little bit today, so we decided to take it inside the Go Texan Pavilion versus sitting outside in the wine garden, which where we would have loved to have been. If you guys haven't seen the other two Wine Wednesdays, go back and check those out because it sets up a little bit more, so you'll understand why we're doing these last four here. The first Wednesday we looked at some of the blends in our Blue Ribbon selection. Last week we looked at some single varietals. I hope you guys can hear me okay. It's a little bit loud in here, so let us know if you can't hear. And today we're looking at some whites as well as a sparkling. So to just remind everybody, our Blue Ribbon selection was a competition that the fair held prior to, in August. And we had 125 entries of Texas wines from all across the state. And we had a blind panel. We partnered with the Texas Wine Advocates, and they chose the top 12 bottles for us. So there was a sparkling, 2 whites, a sweet red, and 8 dry reds that were part of this. And today we're going to look at the 2 whites, the sparkling, and 1 of the dry reds. But I am excited today that I'm joined by 2 wine bloggers that are based here in Dallas. So I have Melanie Offenloch with me, who is the Dallas Wine Chick, and Terry Hill, who is the Texas Wine. The French version of that. So you can find both of their blogs, as follow them on Twitter and Instagram and all the social channels. But you guys have some of the best jobs. But this isn't your full-time gig, right? You actually, I know Melanie going a bit back. But Melanie is a marketing person, and you started this blog kind of as a passion project because you just wanted to be able to explore wines.
Absolutely. And I wanted to make sure I could actually talk about the social media I was selling to my clients at the time.
So it was a way for you to do that. And along the way, I think you've learned a little bit about wine.
Yeah, the 10.5 years of drinking a lot of wine and having a lot of fun. So glad to be here, excited to try these wines. I actually haven't had any of them, so really looking forward to it.
Terry, what about you? How did you start your blog?
My wife and I were married in France, and I got the bug really bad. So when I came back, I started doing some writing and got a little connect on that. And so I decided to go ahead and start blogging. Went and got some little certification and just kind of took it from there. I love wine, and that's my passion. So.
I love, if you look at both of their blogs, one of the really great things about it is, they're going to talk to you about some really great high-end wines, but you guys are also all about the affordable, great bottle at a great price point.
Absolutely.
Both of you even say something on your blogs about no wine snobs. You're not going to find a bunch of like wine jargon where it's totally approachable and you understand what you've tasted, why you might want to taste it, and
a good wine
really
is
great
one
advice.
you like. A bad one is one you don't, no matter what the critics say.
Awesome.
Exactly. The price doesn't really matter. Good wine is good wine.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we do best, because we all love wine. Mm-hmm. And as we went through the process, the easy thing to do is to step up into the $60, $80, $100 bottles of wine. Those are easy to love.
Yeah.
What's hard to do is find that really good bottle of wine that you can buy for 15 or 20. That is the real market. And when you can find a really good bottle of wine for 15 to $20, it's something you hang on to. And you tell your friends about it.
And tell your friends about it because it's like that hidden gem secret that you want everybody to know about. So again, these are all part of the Blue Ribbon selection. You can go to the wine garden, which is just right outside the Go Texan Pavilion. All 24 days of the fair, these wines are available. You can do a tasting as well as a glass, and you can even get a bottle if you want to enjoy it on the patio out there. It may be a little chilly for the whites and sparklings out there today, but this weekend when the sun comes out, I know you guys are all going to be out here. This will be a great place to try that.
So and it's Texas; it changes every day.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about. You guys get to try wines from all over the world. I know that both of you have taken trips and done everything and sought out and drank wine all over. What do people outside of Texas think about Texas wines?
They know very little about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think there's a branding issue.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of confusion about the wines that Texas are making and the quality of wines that are out there. Frankly, a lot of the Texas wines that are fantastic never make it out of the tasting room.
That's true.
And so we have a distribution problem, we have a marketing problem, we have a branding problem. and
Issues. We have issues.
So that's why the fair is really excited to be able to bring you guys some of those that you may not, that only had an opportunity if you were in Fredericksburg or in one of the tasting rooms to try. And that's why we feel the Wine Garden and our wine program is so important, is to let people try different wines from all over Texas.
absolutely.
Yeah, I find there's a lot of curiosity in the Texas wines. Everyone wants to know what it is. And I think they're surprised to find out that we are actually a very large producer of wine in the United States. I believe it's number 4 in the nation.
It's a $13.1 billion industry.
So
Yeah.
say that. So
In
it's a
Texas.
$13.1 billion industry, agricultural industry. Which
Wine in
yeah,
Texas.
I mean that's.
Yes.
I mean this. We're growing grapes here in Texas. We're converting acres of farmland to grapes, and there's some really great growing regions in Texas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's interesting as we were looking at this. All of the fruit that's for these grapes are grown in Texas, obviously, and they are all from the High Plains area, which is that area around Lubbock, up around the Caprock, which seems so strange if you say something that if you've never been up there, but it is a great grape growing region. It has elevation, it has the cool hot days, cool night, it has everything that makes it. It's going to make it a really amazing grape growing region. And get some. So
And then there's also Hill Country, which I know that none of the
Yeah.
wines were entered or made the
For
top
tonight,
list
yeah.
here, but they're great as well.
Yeah.
So we have 2 great regions to grow from here, and many, many great wines being produced.
So one of the things that Texas is doing and playing with is a lot of what's called Rhone varietals and Mediterranean varietals, and those are names that aren't exactly familiar. It's not the Merlot or the Cabernet or something like people know. So do you find that people, when it's something that's an unusual grape, are people scared of that? Is there a way that you can kind of give them a heads up on which ones are approachable and how to approach that if you've never heard of the grape before?
I think it has a lot to do with you have to take it into context and where the grapes are coming from and compare it to someplace that they might know of.
Okay.
A lot of these grapes are grown in like Tempranillo. It's going to be from Spain.
Okay.
When you're looking at a lot of the Mediterranean varietals, and so when you start talking about Mediterranean varietals, French or from Italy or from Spain, I think it becomes a little more understandable
Okay.
to the average person.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest key is just getting people to taste it.
Yeah.
There's some amazing stuff coming out of Texas right now, but unless you actually have a little adventure in you
Yeah.
and try it,
Yeah.
because you're not going to like everything. I don't like everything,
But you got to try it.
but you have to try it.
And food is often that bridge.
Yeah.
You know, if you pair it with something, and if you walk into your local wine store and you say, "Hey, I'm having this. I'd like to try something new. What would you
Recommend?
do?" That's a great way. And those are the value wines too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go out and you're
So you're-
purchasing a bottle of Cabernet, a lot of times that can be $40, $50, $60, $70 and above. You purchase a Rhone wine, that can be $20, $30 dollars, and it's great value, and it's an incredible.
So your
drinking
tip
wine.
is go ask your local wine store.
Absolutely.
Go in
Find
and
a
ask.
really good wine guy
Yeah.
or wine girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
And find someone that is and ask questions.
Yeah.
All you got to do is ask questions. Most people that work in the wine industry really love it.
Yeah.
They have a passion for it, just like we do.
Yeah.
And so if you show some interest in them and you ask them questions, hey, I'm going to have this for night. We've got lamb chocks. What would be perfect for it? Why don't you here try this? And
Yeah, they don't want to make a bad recommendation,
No,
so they're
exactly.
they're gonna try to give you.
And
So that's a great tip.
And go back to them and say, "Hey, you know what? This one worked. This one didn't quite.
I want more
work for
like
me."
this one.
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
agree.
let's talk a little bit about a couple of the wines we have in here. So the first one we have is actually a Messina Hoff, and that Messina Hoff started. It's kind of was part of the beginning of the Texas wine
Yes,
industry.
it was.
Well, it started in
He's a
1977.
legend.
Yeah, so I mean and it's a family-owned, second generation now,
Yep.
and this is it's an Italian varietal, the Sagrantino. Is that how you say that? Sagrantino. So it's a red. It's actually the fruit is actually grown up in the High Plains by Lubbock in that area. So you guys want to do a little taste?
Sure.
I'll let you guys pour. So yeah. What else we have is also a McPherson, which is also they have, and so actually Messina Hoff also has 3 tasting rooms. So you don't have to go up there. You can actually go to Fredericksburg, Bryan, which is where their estate vineyard is, as well as in Grapevine. And yeah, sure, I'll take a little taste. So you can actually find them all over. They're wide distribution. It's a really great winery. So, cheers. Do you guys? Is there any questions coming in? Not. Okay.
Just making sure everybody can hear. So if you're watching, please comment if you can hear them speaking up here. Just let us know.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a really nice. I mean, I would love that with a great big plate of pasta, or I would even pair that with some fair food, maybe a turkey leg or two, just to keep it since we're here at the fair. Or maybe the fried spaghetti and meatballs,
There you go.
There's lots of things.
That would be,
that would be
ideal.
Or the caprese, whatever the.
Oh yeah, the fried Texas Hill
Yes.
Country might be an interesting. The green tomato with the mozzarella, the balsamic.
Someone asked what would be the best type of wine to pair with barbecue.
This would be good.
This would be very good.
Yeah.
You're saying the
Because
Rosina
it's a little bit sweet, and if you've got a sweet barbecue sauce as opposed to a
There
really,
you go. Patrice, there you go.
that's a really spicy barbecue sauce.
You
I
can-
think this would do
Yeah,
excellent
something a
with
little
it.
Excellent.
spicy.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or Zinfandel or Syrah are always good
Yeah.
choices too.
Those are great
And we
choices.
have someone who commented saying great people make great wine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Cheers to that.
Absolutely. I would agree with that.
So we also have, the whites that we have, which I guess we don't normally go red to white, but it's the fair, so we're going to do that tonight. So
You're a
I
rebel.
wanted to start, I'm a rebel.
Jennifer's a
and I
rebel.
wanted to start with the older, to kind of talk about like their established. The rest of these have all started in the 2000s. And one of them is only, Lost Straw is actually only 5 years old in terms of winemaking. So this, we have kind of the start of the Texas wine industry, and we have some of the new and up-and-comers on the other side of the whites. Plus, we have to end this quickly, right? I mean, typically you would go the
Please
other
the
way.
palate.
I'm just gonna, but we definitely want to
But
end
it's
with the
Jen's
sparkling.
show and she's running it.
So we have McPherson, which is a blend. It's one of their white blends, and their blend is really interesting. It has Roussanne, Grenache Blanc, Marseille, and Picpoul Blanc, which is my new favorite grape, Picpoul Blanc. But you guys were saying this is like the up and coming, one of the grapes that people are really experimenting with. So you're definitely going to see that. So look out for that. Larry Hester from CL Bouteau actually was talking about he was excited about bottling something soon too. So I think that'll be. And then we have Lost Straw, which was 100% Roussanne, and they're the growers that provide the Roussanne to McPherson. So different years, because this one's a 17 and that one's a 16. But some of the same grapes, or at least the same vineyard where the grapes are being produced. So, do you guys want to try the blend or the straight?
Let's go right down the aisle.
Okay, down the aisle? Awesome.
Here, I'll
So again, you can get any of these wines all 24 days of the fair. You just go to the Blue Ribbon table in the wine garden, as well as each day there's 3 other tables as part of the tasting program that rotate out. So check out the daily schedule to see who's in the wine garden. The one thing I didn't bring is something to dump these in.
Yes.
So
I actually drink this wine myself, so this is incredible.
I'm not sure how we're going to taste the other ones at this point.
Alan wants to know if wineries have tours.
They do. Most of them do. Check out their websites. They'll have tasting rooms or they'll have tours, and a lot of the ones in Texas notice like a whole experience where they'll have a restaurant and things like that, especially if they're growers. So
See, that's a beautiful wine.
yeah,
Beautiful wine.
yeah, that's a
I-
really nice.
I drink this wine myself, and I buy this wine. It's a beautiful wine to just sit on the porch and on the patio on a hot summer day and just.
And it's actually a really great affordable price point too. So it's one of those.
Structure.
Yeah. It's got a beautiful nose.
It's the Picpoul Blanc, right? It must be the Picpoul, right? So I think we're gonna have to dump it in red bottles. Is that okay
Yeah,
with you
that's
guys?
good. I think
Yeah?
that's a good
We'll do
idea.
that.
I'm a heavy pourer, so I
Okay,
really
so
have
we're
too
gonna
much
do a
wine,
light
not
pour
enough.
on this next one.
Okay.
Typically, you would have a dump bucket. I was ill prepared. It's
It's not proper wine.
not exactly.
But we're making what
We're gonna make do. So this is the 100% Roussanne, coming from the same vineyard, actually.
And don't drink the dump bucket. It's
Like
Is that a
Miles and
rule?
Sideways.
Is that a rule?
dare to drink the dump bucket. You have
Yeah. That's the best. That's the very best scene. in
So
Sideways.
going back to
Don't do it.
going back to McPherson, they are actually in Lubbock, so you can actually go to their tasting room in
Yeah,
Lubbock.
they're based in Lubbock, and their tasting room and everything. It's a beautiful place.
Yeah,
You've
it's
never
really
been there. It's a I'm not a big fan of Lubbock, but if you go,
I
our
spent
daughter-
many years there. That's not.
Yes.
It was a great place to go to school.
Our daughter went to school there, and I spent a lot of our money there. But it's that drive to there. It's not fun.
It's gotten better with the speed
Yes.
limit increases, I have to say. So back onto Lost Straw. They're actually growing up in there. Their vineyard is actually up in Brownwood, Brownfield, which is right outside. But their tasting room is actually in Fredericksburg. So if you guys are in Fredericksburg for the weekend, you can actually go to their tasting room there.
George wants to know what about pairing a wine with the Fletcher's corny dog.
One of these whites would be interesting.
You know what?
This actually would be really
This
good.
would, I would say, I would go with the Lost Straw and maybe the champagne.
Well, and not only that, the sparkling,
With the turkey
because
dog.
what's going to happen, you've got a lot of grease in your mouth, and if you want to clear it,
It also
sparkling
depends
it
what you
does
put
really
on the
well
corn
for.
dog.
Yeah. You probably want to, if you're going to pair it with wine, you may want to leave the mustard and ketchup off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
good
saying.
idea.
Okay, that's really nice. And then we're going to end with the sparkling. So this is a Texas sparkling. It's not a champagne; it's a sparkling, right? Because it's not
Right.
made in the It's not made in the Champagne region of France.
Correct.
Oh, a heavy pour.
It's the last glass.
Come on, Jennifer.
So again, these are predominantly, these were growers. They're making some great fruit. Some of their clients are Becker, Landis, William Chris. So they actually are providing fruit for a lot of great winemakers in Texas. And then they've started making their own. I like this one because of the name. It is the West Texas Boyfriend. So I think it is a grape that I have never heard of before. What is
I
that?
don't have my glasses
So it
on,
is
so-
the
Malvasia
Bianca.
Yeah.
So it's what the research I found was it's like a Muscat. So like if you've ever had a Moscato or Muscat grape, this is similar to this one.
but it doesn't have that coy. Not that Moscato's coy, but it doesn't have that sweet.
It's really crisp and clean.
Yeah, it's got a little residual sugar, but it's got a very nice acidic
Yeah.
content too. So it kind of brings down the sweetness. When it first hits your mouth, it's really kind of sweet, but then it backs off very quickly, and the
Get that
acidity kind of takes
minerality.
over.
That leaves
So I'm actually going to go with, I think the Lost Straw would be better with your corny dog. I think that's the pairing I would go with. Your Lost Straw is your corny dog.
Yep.
All right.
I'd agree.
So we hope you guys learned a little bit about Texas wine. We hope you come out because as part of the fair's mission is agriculture, education, and community involvement, and I feel like wine is all of those. We want you to come experience something new here at the fair. It is going to be nice this weekend. We are going to will that. It is going to be sunny and warm, and we are going to extend the fair hours. We just announced today that both Saturday and Sunday we're extending fair hours. We're opening early and we're staying open late for those of you who couldn't make it out this week because of the rain. So we're going to go enjoy.
So come out,
Yeah,
drink some
now that
wine.
we've done this,
Enjoy
come out,
this.
drink some wine. Come out, enjoy the fair, and we'll probably go ride some rides after this. So
Tell us what your
cheers.
parents are.
Yeah. Cheers.